No one's asked me that question before. It's a great question. First off, I am a terrible artist. You should know that first and foremost. So I actually draw for the artists in our building just so they can make fun of me. And so I bring them joy through my lack of skill. But I'd say Disney animation is two things. One is it's pure imagination. When you're in a building, on any of our movies, it's 700 people that work on our films. And you have people around you with just this incredible amount of imagination. And so there's something about writing for animation specifically that's really freeing. To me, it's like the most healthy creative environment imaginable. That only works because of the second thing, which is unbelievable collaboration. So all of us together work on anything that you see in our films is everyone working at the same time, literally hundreds of people. And there'll be moments where we'll sit around in a room like this, 20 people in a room, and someone will have an idea and someone will start to draw it, and then someone else will feed off that idea and have another idea. I will not draw, but I'll maybe say something and then someone else says something. And it's this really amazing sort of group creativity imagination process where everyone is either playing and just having a really great time trying to think of really fun things or honing something that we want to matter. It's something that I think about all the time. When I first got to Disney Animation, I was actually hired at Disney Animation 14 years ago for the first Zootropolis. And my directing partner who hired me gave me great advice when I first got there. He said, it's so rare to be able to make a movie, even rarer to have that movie go out into the world. That means you have very few opportunities to say something, and they're really important. So it always is important to tell a story that matters for everyone and for yourself. And so for this movie, we really wanted to talk about our differences. The first film talked about bias and stereotype, and we wanted something that felt thematically related, but not the same exact thing again. And our main characters, Judy and Nick, are very different animals first and foremost, but the way they see the world is quite different. And it felt really important to us to talk about the fact that sometimes when you start to feel those differences, you can worry about them. But the way through that is just having an honest conversation, getting to know someone, trying to understand them, and you realize those differences are your greatest strengths. And so I think the strengths in our differences is really what this movie's about. I like this question a lot. We do deep research, for years as we're going through. For this movie, we knew from the beginning that reptiles were going to be a part of the story. So knowing out of the gate, reptiles are going to be there. Reptiles obviously are cold-blooded animals. They need to be warm. And so we wanted to bring in an animal that was from colder climates because that would be in direct opposition to reptiles. On top of that, lynxes are amazing, beautiful animals. But a lynx, a couple things. One is, in the real world, a lynx has one primary food source. That is rabbits. And so that we knew that a lynx and a rabbit has this sort of, natural world problem. And then a lynx is technically a feline, and a fox is technically a canine. So there's cats and dogs. And so we knew that, Nick would be able to bounce up against them too. So we really, really think very deeply before bringing any animal into those worlds. Oh man, I will say this is true. I really aspire to be like Judy, this bunny who believes in the goodness of the world, that thinks that she sort of approaches things through an optimistic lens, and I really love that about her. And writing her is really, for me, kind of therapeutic because you always sort of think about, okay, even when things are difficult, how do you push through that? And she gets things wrong all the time. She's a flawed character, but she keeps trying. And I find that, for me, really important. I think everybody has those moments. I will say, to be super honest, I was very lucky. I was raised by parents who really instilled a lot of confidence in me. They really believed in me. When I wanted to move to Los Angeles, I lived near Washington, D.C., other side of the country, and moved to Los Angeles to do something in the world of film. I didn't know what it was going to be. They said, we believe in you. Go follow that dream. I had no plan. So I don't know how they ever said that was an okay thing to do. So I'd say that I'm a little different than Judy in that respect because I've been really lucky to have tons of supporters. I will say that I've found that in my life, those supporters and those mentors are the reason that I am in this job that I am right now. From the beginning, that was the plan actually, because everyone's so afraid of snakes, and we knew that. So that was a really important thing as we headed into the story. There was sort of this underlying fear of snakes that a lot of human beings have, and Zootopia is the city where you want to flip expectations. And so having this very deadly venomous pit viper be the real heart of this movie, the emotional anchor, we knew that's what we wanted to do from the very beginning. It took a long time to get there. It meant that we have these amazing artists that designed his character. We have amazing animators. Adam Green is one of the primary animators of Gary, who found this warmth and this vulnerability and this sweetness. And Ki Hui Kwan, the original voice of Gary, he just has the biggest heart in the world. He is human sunshine, and it was perfect for this role. So we spent a long time making sure that we worried about him. The very first time Judy meets Gary, we had a different version of that where he was very silly and funny the first time, and we found that actually the audiences didn't lock into him. But when we actually changed it so he was worried and he was scared and he needed help and she could offer that to him, it really made the character kind of a wow.